Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to Espresso with Sky, giving you a fresh perspective on faith, life, God, and the Bible. This is Pastor Sky over here. I am now in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and having a very, very good time. It's been a little bit over a week, but I just wanted to update you guys what God has been doing over this last week. And it's quite, I would say it's quite funny and quite interesting at the same time. So let's start from the very beginning. I had a red-eye flight, so this is perfect because for me, sleeping on a plane is really, really difficult. Like, I don't know why I can sleep an hour at a time, but I got this flight that was departing at 1 a.m. to the Philippines, right? And it was perfect. I got on the plane, I crashed. And I've never done this before, but I actually woke up like 8 hours later. I've never had this happen. So 8 hours later, I wake up and there's still 6 hours left on the flight. So I'm like, man, it's still a long time. But 8 hours, I knocked off a lot of it. So what I did next was, I started to stretch and I went to, the back of the plane. The flight attendants were there and just started having a casual conversation for like an hour, hour and a half. Fun, funny, talking about sports, talking about relationships in life, what we all did for a living and such too. So that was really fun. We knocked up another hour and a half, went back to my seat, watched a movie, another 2 hours, watched another movie for about an hour and a half, and it was like 3-4 hours just knocked off right there. Like something along that lines, like an hour and a half, a movie and part of another movie. And there was like 30 minutes, the flight lands, and I get into the Philippines first for a layover in order to get to Kuala Lumpur. Layover was like less than an hour. I got to the next flight, but it was so weird because my second flight is a short flight. It's only 4 hours. It's only a 4-hour flight, but on a smaller plane and just packed. And I'm gonna tell you this, that 4-hour flight was worse than the long flight of 14 hours. I couldn't go to sleep. It was just shaking. The seats were super small and uncomfortable. And eventually I arrived in Kuala Lumpur. I was in Malaysia. And I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. So once the doors open, we rush to the front, and I'm rushing to the baggage claim, right, to get my bags and stuff. It was me, I think it was like 3 or 4 of us, but we all got there early. And we were the first ones at the baggage carousel. There's already bags, going around and around, and we're looking for bags, and none of us could find it. So like, okay, more and more bags come, more and more people come, they take their bags. But me and the other guys who came first, we're all waiting like, what happened to our bags? And as we're waiting longer and longer, we kind of get to realize that something's wrong. They said, no more bags coming out. And we're like, whoa, wait. And there's like 3 or 4 of us that our bags didn't come. We checked other carousels and everything else. And in the end, guess what? Luggage lost. I was like, what? Is this God? Is this the beginning of my trip? Like, really? And I was just like, no way. My friend who's waiting for me outside, we waited for like an extra hour, hour and a half. I finally got out, no luggage. I only have the clothes on my back. And you know what that means? It basically means that 1 pair of jeans, 1 shirt, the underwear I'm wearing, a pair of socks, and 1 pair of shoes, and that's all I had. Every day after that, I'm either calling the airline to figure out if my luggage has come back, or I'm going shopping for clothes a little bit by little, right? Because if they find my luggage, then I don't need to buy that many clothes. So I'm shopping every single day, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, going to the mall, checking in. And another thing is I'm pretty picky with my clothes, right? Even for a white shirt like this, the fit really matters to me. So I was having a hard time just trying to figure out, man, what's happening? And now here's the thing. On top of all things happening, during the first 6-7 days of my trip, I was borrowing my friend's car. I went to a cafe, left the lights on, car battery died. I was stuck in this plaza, and I had to find someone to jump the car. Like a couple days later, that same car, I locked the keys in the car, and I was stuck outside. I had to call a tow truck, and I had to pay like $50 US to for them to open the door and stuff like that. On top of it, I'm in my friend's condo for the first week until I move into my place. I got stuck outside the condo. One time I was driving, I got pulled over by the police because I was holding my phone in my hand because the car had no phone holder, and that's where the navigation is. And I'm looking at the navigation while driving. Police pull me over, and then they're like, hey, they're kind of saying if you give us money, then we won't give you a ticket. And I'm like, what the heck? And I had no cash. eventually they let me go because they couldn't speak English very well, and I had no idea what they're trying to say to me. Right? I had no cash on me. I had nothing. It wasn't my car. I'm a foreigner, so eventually they just let me go. And eventually my luggage was found 6 days later. And I'm not sure about you guys, but have you guys ever had that where you're thinking to yourself, like, why are all these bad things happening to me, like one after the other and after the other? I'm gonna tell you this, guys, and I think this is something that all of us can relate to, is I found it so easy to be negative. I was even thinking stuff like, have I done something wrong? Or is God judging me, right? Because have I sinned? Like, what am I doing, kind of thing. After praying about this, I thought about it a lot more. And after that, interestingly, I became really thankful. And I started thinking, after becoming thankful and thinking about it more deeply, I became really positive. And I became thankful because, think about it, I'm a foreigner. I'm a foreigner in this country that, I don't know very well. People could take advantage of me, whether I was, like the police trying to get me to bribe. All these are the different things that could have happened. But God protected me, that the police didn't do anything, right? Like, they wanted the bribe. I had no money, so he protected me. I didn't even get a ticket for that. I was able to buy some new clothes. On top of it, the airline is paying me like money for all 6 days, which, the money will pay for all my clothes and even more. So after that, you kind of look at it in the end, and I thought to myself, you know what? There's so much to be thankful about, even amidst all the difficulties and the troubles. And it reminded me of this verse in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18. And it says, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And I really hope that all of us out there too, no matter how difficult it gets, just always give thanks no matter what. And I'll tell you this, because I gave thanks, number one is I became much more positive. Number two, I realized how much God was with me. And number three is, when I became thankful, I became even more thankful after that too. So I hope this story really, resonates with you guys there too. Hope you guys have an amazing and awesome week, and I'll kind of keep you guys updated what's happening here in Malaysia with me too. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you guys again on Espresso with Sky. All right, take care and see you later.